Well, hello. Happy Month Tuesday, if I may say that. Happy Tuesday. This is Laura Torres from Blue Star Careers, and I'm here once again with an employer spotlight. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you enjoyed a great long weekend and you celebrated and safely are now engaging back into your week of activities. I have a very special employer spotlight today for you, for our community, and I look forward to your comments, to your questions, and most importantly, to your support to share this with your network as well so that we can get the word out, because this is an incredible employer partner here at Blue Star Careers. And we are just very excited to share all the great resources they have to offer for our military spouse community and our veterans, of course. But our primary focus here is for military spouses. So without further ado, let me welcome our employer spotlight, David. How are you? Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Laura, and I appreciate you guys having us back. It's a great partnership we have with Blue Star Families. My name is David Muir. I'm with Easterseals, and I run a program called the Veteran Staffing Network, where we focus on helping veterans and military spouses from any era receive the help that they need to find meaningful employment. We have career coaching and job search training that we offer, and we engage the business world like a staffing firm.
That's wonderful. And I know that you have some incredible resources, and I'm really excited to learn all about it to begin with. But just if you would mind telling us a little bit about, your history. How did you guys get started, and what triggered this amazing process and format that you have? As you mentioned, you're kind of like a staffing model sort of set up. Just tell us overall a little history about Easterseals Veteran Staffing Network.
Happy to. So everything starts with Easterseals. I didn't know much about them other than they did nice things for people. But Easterseals is over 100 years old, one of the more widely recognized nonprofits out there. Started in Chicago as a society for crippled children. And Jeopardy fact for you, we used to do a telethon around Easter time selling stamps to raise money for the charity. And that's how it became Easterseals, a little bit nicer than the Society for Crippled Children. Organizationally, Easterseals is still headquartered in Chicago, and headquarters focuses on national level awareness, advocacy, and influencing public policy on Capitol Hill for the people that we support. And underneath them, there are 74 regional affiliates. You can think of them like a franchise. Each is its own independently operated 501c3 nonprofit, and each is a grassroots organization with a commitment to build programs that are inclusive and empower people to live, learn, work, and play in their own communities. I happen to work for the Easterseals affiliate in the DC metro area. And as you might imagine, because there are an awful lot of military people here in DC, we've got an awful lot of military-oriented programming. So the Veteran Staffing Network was created because, back in 2010, 2011, veteran unemployment was extremely high. Military spouse unemployment was even higher. And the only support out there at that time was the TAP class that you get when you transition out. Correct. And because so much is happening at that moment of transition for the service member and his or her family, it's a 3-day workshop, 2.5-day workshop on how to get a job. And if you've ever been in a 2.5-day workshop, how much do you really remember a week, a month, a year from now? And so we just saw these people falling through the cracks of the existing system. And Easterseals is about creating support for those who fall through the cracks. So at its core, the Veteran Staffing Network's mission is to provide career coaching and job search training. And being an inclusive organization, it could be a currently transitioning service member. It could be a veteran who's been out 20 years. It could be the caregiver of a wounded warrior. It could be a military spouse that's not even with the veteran any longer. Pretty much anybody who's worn the uniform or supported someone wearing the uniform, we're here to help them. We have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, fantastic. This is a great service for everyone because it's so inclusive.
Yes. We have a library of courses based on the skill of job search. It's, I think, 68 in total. It's everything from early job seeker stuff like Dress for Success and time management to big picture stuff like what skills do I have and what do I want to be, how do I want to use them, to as granular as things like you can't have machinegunner48@yahoo.com as your email address, right? All the mistakes that we see people making, we want to be able to provide that guidance. So we deliver that service through one-on-one video conference or phone calls. We also host an event called Tuesday Talks, which is a live webinar that one of our career coaches, typically our senior career coach, Yolanda Rayford, who is amazing, delivers. And then we also have an e-learning system where people can go and access the content on their own at their own pace. And we are in development of an app for your phone that was supposed to be released, I think, last January. But as you may guess, anything that you want to do right, and it slides to the right. So we're hoping to see that come out at the end of the summer. If it was my guess, I'd probably say closer to the holidays. But, you know, I'm an optimist.
That's wonderful. So, David, let me ask you, with so many great resources available through your network, and given that you do work with all, you know, life situations or the lifespan of a military spouse throughout their career, what are some of those tips or tricks or just things that you may share, given that, you know, you guys do this, like you mentioned, one-on-one coaching for military spouses, for service members? What are some of those tips and tricks that we can perhaps, you know, adapt to be better, more successful with candidates or suited for services like yours?
Well, we meet people where they are, Laura, right? So, you know, somebody who has, you know, degrees and has, you know, bounced around the world half a dozen times. And so track record of employment isn't that great. And so they may not necessarily know how to represent themselves on paper. We can work with them to build a resume that speaks to his or her capabilities. With regard to tips and tricks, there are little things, yes, but like anything, you've got to earn it, right? So we help people understand who they are, what they have to offer, who buys people, who hires people like them, how to market themselves effectively, and then how to engage these employers to find work. We are also functioning like a staffing firm, I think I mentioned, right? So instead of us being reliant for funding on grants, which has historically been the norm, we are what's called a social enterprise, which means we adopted a for-profit business model to pay for ourselves. And so I work with businesses and I place people in jobs, either in a temp to hire, or direct hire capacity. I'm a headhunter, essentially, right? And the money we receive when we place that veteran or family member goes into the program, and that's how we're able to pay for the delivery of our services. So I see Heidi had said, had not heard of the program. Thanks for spreading. Thank you for being a part of this universe. Jonathan, do we work with vets struggling with PTSD? So we will work with anybody. There's nobody who's not qualified to work with us, even people who have an other than or a dishonorable discharge. We're here to support them. If the person who has PTSD is not addressing that issue, the likelihood of employment being successful, if they're not currently at least addressing the issue, the likelihood of maintaining a good employment opportunity is pretty low. However, we do have a network of organizations that we're plugged into. The Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinics are around the country. They're an amazing resource. Our Easterseals affiliate here in DC, Maryland, and Virginia is excited that we offer that service. But if we can't find some type of support for PTSD, we can certainly find a resource that someone can go to. So yes, we'll work with a vet who has PTSD, but it's important that they're addressing the matter.
Absolutely. And so when it comes to career coaching and job placement, what is your if there's any locations or communities that you work with military spouses or service members, what are those areas that you explore or that you support in general?
Well, so, excuse me, we've put almost 2,700 people to work over the last 8 years in 37 different states. So we are kind of everywhere. And that revenue's allowed us to be able to provide coaching to more than 12,000 people. So if if a veteran or a family member is looking for help, they can go to our website at vsnusa.org, and it'll take you to our page on the Easterseals website. You can also, on there, you can apply for jobs directly. You can send us your resume. You can request a career coaching appointment. If you're not ready to take that step, the events tab there will list any upcoming Tuesday talks that we have available. So we're pretty accessible. All they have to do is raise their hand and say they want to be engaged, and we're here to help them.
That's fantastic.
As far as types of jobs that we work with, my goal really, Laura, is for everybody to be able to go and find a meaningful career, right? And I am working with these companies, but the jobs that I get differ day to day, from a forklift driver, working for a major bottled water manufacturer, to professional drivers, to accounting and finance and professional services jobs, to mechanics. We're working with a little bit of everything. So if you come to us just looking to scan our jobs and apply to something, we're not the right place for you to go. We're really here to help you hone your message, sometimes even figure out what your message is, to go and get a job yourself. That's really why our program exists, is to help these people. And military families face such challenges when they're going in different places, right? And they are making strides, particularly in the businesses that require state certifications. There's about 10 or 15 certification boards. Don't ask me who they are. I think like cosmetology licenses, for example, and I believe attorneys. They're working on something for attorneys. But for the most part, there's a challenge. And they say, I didn't have a job at this duty station. I didn't have a job at this duty station. I did a ton of volunteer work. I organized 7 moves of our family. I helped the new spouses who were moving on to the base. There's so much work that our military families are doing that they just don't know how to communicate to the employers that they go and see. And, one of the great things about COVID, one of the very few positive outcomes, I would say, is that the employers now understand that remote work in a lot of ways is very, very possible. As a matter of fact, some people can be even more successful. So, excuse me, I see this as a positive opportunity for military spouses in particular. And we're happy to help them try and figure out how to access the market. Employment's hot right now. Employers are struggling trying to find people.
Absolutely. And so, with that, I just want to recap. Those of you who are watching, please pose your questions so that David can answer you. But we're talking to the Veteran Staffing Network, part of Easterseals. And they are a staffing model, sort of a program that helps and supports military spouses, service members, get into meaningful career opportunities. And they do have all kinds of great support for service members so that they can join in military spouses, of course. But it's more than just a job board. They have an e-learning portal where you also get all kinds of events on Tuesdays, like David just mentioned as well, Tuesday events. And then the one-on-one coaching, it goes above and beyond. Really, it's kind of like the white glove effect that you get the treatment, because that's really what sometimes we need. Some of us who are re-entering into the workplace is to be able to get that one-on-one coaching that helps you identify the reality of the work market sometimes, but then also what are the reality of your skills, and then match those with good, meaningful career opportunities. So now that you mentioned, David, now employers are definitely struggling with a lot of career opportunities. What is the best way that we can sort of predict or engage right now? What is the best sort of a tip that you will tell someone, a military spouse who's trying to work things out? As you know, right now is PCS season. A lot of us like to sort of wait until school time for the kids go back to school. Now that the schools also will start reopening and kids will be busy for most part, we can actually engage into some actually full-time committed work employment opportunities. What will be the next couple months? What can we do as a military spouse to prep for meaningful opportunities perhaps this fall? And who are those some employer partners perhaps that you can talk about employment opportunities?
Sure. Well, preparation is everything, right? It really, really is. And so if you've got this runway, which is what I like to call it, before you need to get to work, the very first thing you need to know is doing a personal inventory and understanding the skills that you have. And then even deeper than that is what skills you have that you like to use. So one of the exercises that we have is we actually encourage people to write out all the different skills that they have, and then rank them, right? Because, for example, I have financial skills. I can write a budget and do forecasts, but I got to tell you, I don't love it. I can do it, but I don't love it. So if I'm in a job that's 70, 80% of skills that I don't like using, I'm not going to stay there long, right? So we work with people to kind of understand who and what they are and what they want to do, right? And then we say, okay, well, I want to use skills 1 through 10. And what kind of jobs do those fit into? And then we look at different types of jobs that use those skills. And there's a lot of resources that you can get off of ONET Online. I don't know if you're familiar with ONET Online. It's a great tool put together by the Department of Labor, and it is really comprehensive. And you can go in there. They've even got assessments to go through different skills that you may have to look at possible career paths. Once you have an idea of the skills that you want to use and the kind of the job that you're looking for, job title, level, whatever, then it's off to go and find the employers, right? So if I'm PCSing to somewhere USA, let's say Norfolk, right? And I've got administrative skills, I've got customer service, and I've got some, I don't know, math skills. I'm good at math, right? Well, those are professional service jobs. Who's going to hire someone with those kinds? And I start looking. And once we identify the employers, we really want to understand what that employer is communicating, what they want, right? So a big mistake a lot of people make is writing their own resume. We want to look just like what the employer wants, and they tell you what they want in the form of job descriptions. So one of the lessons that we put people through here at the Veteran Staffing Network is to go and build a language library that the employers are using to represent who they want to hire. And then we transform that resume into a resume that looks exactly what they're looking for. We work with you to prepare your stories that you're going to tell at each one of the different places that you've been in your life. Whether that is work experiences or whether that's volunteer experiences because you just didn't get a job for whatever reason. And then it's off to engage, right? So if you don't have a LinkedIn profile yet, really recommend that you get a LinkedIn profile. When the time is right and your resume is ready to go, that's a great time to take advantage of the free 1-year subscription. LinkedIn is a great way to grow your network. And then really it's all about communicating your value, going out and talking to people and saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I have to offer. Who do you know that might be interested in helping somebody out like me? And you do that enough, pointed and talked to the right people enough, and opportunities will surface for you. And so the Veteran Staffing Network is here to help our community walk that path.
That's fantastic. And now I do have a question. That's a great service. I mean, very comprehensive overall for anyone looking for the for a great value for their investment for the time. But it's a relationship. It's a two-way relationship, I imagine, with the career coach as well as the military spouse who is ready to engage in meaningful work. Now, what happens if you happen to engage with one of your service members? In your coaches, and you get placed into a temp to hire position, but this one doesn't work out. As a staffing agencies, in my experience, has been that they try to find you another suitable, career or opportunity. Is that something that you guys also work until this member gets placed permanently into a career opportunity?
Well, let me pull the curtain back on that a little bit.
Okay.
Right? So the recruiting industry works like this. Of course, I want to put you back to work because that's how I make money, is putting you to work, okay? But if I don't have a job, right, let's say you're in this job, I've only got one of these types of jobs in your location, and I had you in it, and it didn't work out, I don't have any other job to put you in, right? So of course I want to help put you back to work as fast as I can, but my job is to fill that job as the staffing agency. So it really is the responsibility of the job seeker to take control of his or her job search. And so instead of being stuck in that clicking apply and negative feedback loop, never hearing anything back from somebody, we teach them how to just take their own career by the control of it themselves, right? And look at the Facebook user. You were researching this at 2 a.m. this morning. What were you doing up that late? Nice to meet you, and I'm glad you were checking us out. So yeah, tips for the next couple of months, Laura, really, I'd recommend doing homework, right? In reflection on who you are and what you've accomplished in your life, things that you're proud of, stories that you want to tell that talk about how you use the skills that you have. And if you're stuck not being able to find those skills or figure out how to talk about them, come to us, right? The community, the military community is built of humble people who, for the most part, are not very good about bragging about themselves. And the reality is that that's who employers want to hire, is people who can talk about how good they are at what they do. That's what gives an employer a warm fuzzy instead of hiring somebody who kind of can't communicate their value statement. And there are amazing people in the military community.
Absolutely, yes. We're all one. That's why we're here. We're so excited to be collaborating and partnering up with you guys, because you have a well designed program here for anyone who is ready to be career ready, like we like to say it here at Spouse Force, is to engage into a real result driven sort of a job search options, but with the intent that you're going to get the skills and eventually you're going to get the skills and the tools and the kind of like the way we like to say it as well, tips and tricks that would allow you for you to also go on and be self-sufficient when it comes to your job search, so that you are, ready and prepared for the next adventure, the next career opportunity, but you have the skills. Like David mentioned, you are prepared, your value proposition, your skills, what you have to bring on the table, but also you have identified what's behind your story, behind your life situation, and situate all of that, because that's extremely important in order for you to be able to engage into great community opportunities. David, I do have a question. I want to bring it up for Anthony here, and it's all from LinkedIn. I'm looking for employee veterans. How do I get in touch with you? There you go. We just also connected.
I love that. I love that, Anthony, and I'd be more than happy to talk with you about that. You can reach me directly if you want. Laura, you have my contact information you can put up there?
I do, and I can send them over. Yeah. Yeah,
that'd be great. So you can email me directly. You can also call me directly. You can also visit our website at www.vsnusa.org and go to the employers tab there, and there's a message to say contact us right away. You fill out a little form, and typically I'll give you a call back same day. If not same day, it'll be the next day.
There we go. I have this link here, which is the general for the job board.
The job board that we have.
Yeah, but from it also, if you click on the main link for the Veteran Staffing Network, it would also allow you, Anthony, to get in contact.
Can I chat in here?
Sure, absolutely.
Put it in the chat then for everybody?
Absolutely. Yes. On the chat, go ahead and put it on. So yeah, those of you who are watching, please post your questions and let us know how we can best support you. This is the Veteran Staffing Network, which helps military spouses, service members, and anyone with a military connection help get into meaningful career opportunities. So, it's more than just job placement. It's more than just career, sort of a one-on-one. It's really the full plethora of services. You get e-learning community. You have coaching, one-on-one services. And as David told me completely, you get absolutely just that. Really, the discussion that really makes sense when it comes to finding your opportunity and making sure that you are really searching for the right opportunity and services that you need. And it looks, David, Anthony shared the LinkedIn, so you can always go back to the LinkedIn post as well, and I can send it over to you as well.
I am having trouble figuring out how to enter something into chat, and this is user error on my end. I probably shouldn't disclose this, but I've opened up some kind of marketing thing, and it's blocking half the screen. So,
okay, okay, just click on it, and then
good.
it will go down. It's okay. We're about to wrap it up, and I'll make sure that I get Anthony's connection to you as well. So.
Okay, Anthony, I'll send you a friend invite in just a moment.
Sure. Perfect. So yes. So is there anything else, David? What's next for our military spouse community? Or what's next for you guys for the Veteran Staffing Network? How can we all just take advantage for the next couple of months and really maximize our summer for career readiness?
Yeah, well, the partnership that we have with Blue Star Families is several years long now. We're looking forward to it continuing for many years to come. I just shared with Laura an opportunity. We've got somebody who wants to hire a number of military spouses. So, and then you guys send people our way. So it's a great collaboration. Really over the summer, again, do your homework, figure out who you are, what you want to sell, and then figure out who wants to buy you. You have to engage job search like you're a business person. And you are running the business of you incorporated. And you're trying to sell yourself out there. And so if you're not comfortable with dealing with that, thank you very much. If you're not comfortable with doing that, well, then let's go to work and get you comfortable. Because it's something that is a skill and it can be worked on.
Absolutely. And you know, and again, as I mentioned earlier, it's a two-way relationship. You have to put time on it and really engage in the process and be willing to be coachable, because it is all for the better of view of your career. Military coaches and service members that work at Easterseals and Veteran Staffing Network, they're all there because they really want to help our military community. They want to help veterans, they want to help military spouses. And it's just a wonderful way for you to really find those meaningful opportunities. But, you know, you have to really engage. You have to give in as well and be willing to be part of the process, because at the end, it's all just to benefit you. I have one more comment, David. Jen Macias. Thank you, Jen, for joining.
Jen.
Connect support hiring. Oh, there you go.
Jen,
one more. So, yeah.
US Steel used to be one of our clients. I would love to re-engage with you. So if you could send me an email or your LinkedIn as well, and I'll reach out to you as soon as this is over. Anthony, I'll be reaching out to you shortly as well.
Perfect. There you go. I'm so glad that we're having some really good connections here for you, David, both ways. Absolutely. This is what it's all about. We're all in this together. Military community, we're all in this together. This is for military spouses. This is for our service members. And so this is a great service, a great support for you. And so that's why we're great partners of Easterseals and Veteran Staffing Network. And we believe very much on their product and what they have to offer for our community. But the best part is that it's no cost, right? No cost whatsoever for our community.
It doesn't cost the service member anything. It will cost US Steel something, but that's a different story.
Right. Okay. All right. So great. Just really briefly, baby, before we wrap it up here, tell us what are some of those Tuesday e-learning events that you have going on?
Tuesday Talks has a variety of topics. One is say this, not that. Another is writing a federal resume. Another is, I think she called it Interviewing 101. Another is, so there's just a bunch of different courses, or I don't want to call them courses, but these are structured webinars that she delivers, goes over real life resume redesign. I think she has built a resume online for somebody once and talked through the whole thought process to kind of teach that audience. So it really does cover a variety of topics. And unfortunately, I'm between football and the infantry. I played when concussions were cool. So I'm an old machine.
That's okay.
And I don't have to remember anything. I can't do it.
That's okay. We love, but we do love that you do have a great, options for military spouses to go out and engage and learn about different things, especially federal resume. It's one of those hot topics that a lot of people want to crack in through it, want to get a little more support. So definitely go out and check out their portal and engage into some of those e-learning opportunities so that you can, at your own pace. Again, I'm not planning for anybody to go massive like job search for the summer, especially with things still kind of like slowly reopening. But definitely I want to really push for most of our community members who are actively job searching to start now and start prepping and start engaging and just equipping yourself with all the tools that are out there necessary for you to be able to really find that meaningful opportunity and use all of our network, all of our resources, because we're all in this together. So, Dave, anything else that we can tell our community before we wrap up?
Thank you as always, Laura, for such a great partnership. I really appreciate everybody's time and learning about the Veteran Staffing Network and what Easterseals has been doing for our community. I am here for you. And if I can't get you the right answer, then I'll do my best to leverage my network to help you. So thank you again, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you. And those of you who, again, continue to watch this or watch the replay, watch towards the end, please post your questions. I will make sure that I go back and I answer those. If you have any specific needs, we'll make sure that we'll address those. So thank you so much for watching. And again, tag, follow, and share. That's how we all grow together as a community. Tag those individuals who are looking for support, because this is a great resource for military spouses, for service members, for anyone connected to the community. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you later in the week. Thank you.
Be well.